everyone. Welcome back to Geekvolution After Dark. I am Captain Logan.
I'm Eric.
Thanks a lot for hanging out with us, folks. We sure appreciate it. For the next hour or so, we're going to chat about all kinds of random things that we came up with to talk to you folks about, and it's going to be uncensored. Who knows what might be in our notes for today. Eric, thank you for joining me. It's so good to see you and your red shoes.
Yeah.
I love Eric's
Which
shoes.
are starting to tear.
I love them so.
Because they always do. They always do.
That's no good.
But these ones are tearing
Can
here.
everybody see your red shoes?
These ones.
You can see the bottoms of his
These
red
ones.
shoes. Here,
These ones. Well, now everyone sees the tear.
Oh, okay, sorry.
But they're tearing here.
Are you conscious? Are you self-conscious about the tear?
No, I'm not self-conscious about tear. I'm just annoyed that I can't buy Converse and they don't break on me. Cause
you know the ones I had didn't.
I have big feet, and I should be buying wides, but wides are really hard to get. Use like special order. Like I've gone to the website and looked. Like I have trouble finding them on the website.
Wow.
But these, I bought these, and CJ said spray them down with Scotch Guard, and it will.
Oh, I think you told me about that. And it didn't work.
Well, they're tearing here, but this isn't where they usually tear. They usually tear where my toes are.
Oh,
I appreciate that's not tearing where my toes are.
So it fixed on one side.
Yeah.
But not the other side.
But this side didn't usually tear. But
the reason I don't.
I mean, how long have I had these? Like 2
months, 3 months, maybe.
Yeah.
I like. Yeah. So you're gonna have to buy shoes at the rate you change your oil.
Mm-hmm. Which I need to.
I like those.
Yeah.
They look good. The reason I don't buy Converse, and I don't know why, I've been enamored with your red shoes ever since you got them. I'm like, oh, I wish I had red shoes.
Have been.
They're so fucking cool.
Getting
like,
comments.
They look really good on
you. For
you.
like a month and a half.
They look really good on you. I always buy just like boring jet black shoes, and like I don't have the like I want a million shoes things. I have like 3 or 4 pair of like different colors, different styles. Like I don't have a really good pair of dress shoes right now. I like I have dress shoes, but I don't have great dress shoes. But I like that. Like I'm afraid I'll look hipsterish, more than I do right now. If I start doing things like wearing purple shoes and stuff, but I want to. And I want like purple jeans. I want to do that whole thing.
I've talked about on the channel why I have red shoes, right?
I don't remember.
Or why I only wear Converse. Everyone knows this, right?
Well, what I was going to say about the Converse thing is I forgot to actually say where I was going with that, which is, it's just, I went to a con once, had to be on my feet the whole time, and it hurt my feet, and that memory makes me not want to put them on again.
That's fair. I wear Converse because of Frank Miller.
Oh, you've said that? Yeah.
And I bought red Converse because that's what Dwight wears.
Everybody calls my hat like a Frank Miller hat. You should get a Frank Miller hat.
They don't look good on me. I've got one. I can grab it right now.
Yeah, we have that conversation. I thought it looked okay on you.
I can grab it right now.
Yeah, we don't plan things before after dark. Besides the things that we write down in our notes, but
this hat was a gift from a gentleman who ran an establishment which just closed. I don't know if I told you that.
I don't remember this hat.
Okay, well, it's because of that. I never wear it.
Oh, okay. I thought you were gonna get like your bigger brimmed hat, but
no, that was for the show. No, this is this was a gift, kind of. There's this gentleman that.
Are you wearing it backwards?
No. That's where the thing is.
Oh yeah, it's just different from my hat where it's not as flat in the front. Yeah. I see. Yeah, no, you're right. There you go. Yeah.
This is the gentleman that ran the eatery establishment near my work.
Yeah.
They have closed.
No.
Yeah.
You said that you were. Was it because of his health?
Mother's health.
Okay. But didn't he have health problems too?
No.
You guys talk amongst yourselves.
No. Just a bunch of family.
Okay.
It's
no reason to air that out here. Yeah.
So anyways, at some point, it's actually interesting because when my now girlfriend I got this when my now girlfriend was working there, almost 2 years ago now.
Interesting. I remember you getting a hat. I just didn't remember what it looked like.
We're outside smoking, and he just brings it to me and says, "I think you'd look good in this," and gives it to me. And I don't have a head for hats. I don't think I look good in hats.
I don't think that looks bad. I really don't. Maybe it would look a little bit better. Maybe it looks better with a beard. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe it didn't look as good without a beard. You guys leave comments and let us know if you like how Eric looks in a hat. Now, we all know that I look fantabulous in my hat, but let us know what you think of Eric in his hat.
Well, and I used to wear fedoras, because obviously I did.
Yeah, naturally.
I used to...
with a trench coat.
With a trench coat, and also, I used to wear like a button-up shirt and a tie and a vest. In Florida.
Wow.
But that was my style for a little while, and then I started seeing people wearing fedoras. And then people wearing fedoras got a reputation. And I was like, well, and I just stopped doing it. And then eventually I was just like, I don't even look good in hats. Why was I wearing hats in the first place? So no. Yeah,
I never used to be a hat person until I found this style,
Mm-hmm.
and I just couldn't stop it. And in fact, Eric will tell you, for about a year I didn't have a hat at all because I lost it in Germany.
And you wouldn't wear the feathered one.
I didn't want to wear the feather one. It felt too festive.
You know what? You know what we should do?
But yes, I did get a German hat in Germany, and I wore it all over Germany. But I feel weird wearing it here.
You know what we should do?
What's that?
We should wear. We should both. We should double down on this. We should start doing like musketeer hats, like the big ones with the big feather.
You want to try to bring it back?
Bring it back. I'm bring it back.
Like in public or on the channel? We just
in public.
in public.
Yeah.
Yeah. You want to just go to Dairy Queen wearing that hat?
Well, not like a puffy shirt. Everyone would just assume we're going to like a Ren Fair or something.
Yeah. I think in this day and age you can get away with it more because people immediately in their mind go, "There's got to be a reason."
And everyone dresses weird now.
20 years ago, people were like, "Why are you dressed like that?" Now, like. When I was in like junior high school, I couldn't wear a Star Trek uniform shirt without people being like, "Why are you wearing that?"
That was my other topic. I knew I had another topic that came from
wearing Star Trek uniform shirts.
No.
Why would you bring that up, Eric?
No. Hold on. Let me write down real quick if we even get to it tonight.
Well, yeah, because you said you have 8 topics.
I now have 8 topics.
Well, we are gonna just try to rapid fire this. Although I always say that, and we'll get stuck on something great. And the whole point of After Dark is to just let the conversation go wherever it's going to go, So
Yes.
Tangents are welcome here, my friend. Yes. Anyway, and that's a great idea. I think we should do that. I don't even like that kind of style. I just think it would be hysterical.
I rewatched that Disney Musketeers. It's still fucking great.
Is it?
I mean, you didn't grow up with it the way I did.
I didn't grow up with it at all. This is a big thing that you and my wife have in common, which is weird.
I've seen her watching it multiple times.
I don't get it. That is the thing she goes, that and the like late 60s TV version of the Pied Piper. I don't know why she watches that.
Interesting.
I've never actually sat through it. It looks terrible to me. But I looked it up on Amazon and I found out that it is streaming in way better quality. But quit putting the fucking DVD in. It looks terrible. You can stream it.
There's a scene in Three Musketeers. It's been a while since I watched that. Now there's a scene that I have this thing. I know I've talked about this many times. You probably
I didn't swear at my wife. That would be mean. I didn't do that.
But I have this thing where I can remember as a kid being like, this doesn't make sense, but I bet it makes sense when I get older. And there's a scene in the middle of that movie, and sometimes when I watch movies, I see the script. Like I'm thinking about, I'm thinking about structure. I'm thinking about the actual writing of the scene. There's a scene in that movie with a driver, which, by the way,
I especially do that if it's either really good or really bad.
Yeah. Because
I will see the lines that are attempted to be delivered, but being delivered badly. Mm-hmm. Well, this is what that was supposed to sound like.
Mm-hmm. But so there's a scene in that movie, which, by the way, that movie is wonderfully witty. I wish we made more movies like, I don't know, I'm on about this a lot. I wish we still made fun movies and everything didn't have to be a fucking comedy.
Yeah.
That movie is on that line where I'm like, no, this is a fun swashbuckling, and there's the jokey character, and like there's some bits here and there that like, I don't feel like every time...
But they're just telling a story, and then
they don't have to like stop and wink at the fucking audience.
Yeah.
We made a joke. But so there's a scene where they're so they're going to the Duke of Buckingham and trying to intercept this letter or whatever, right? And there's and Cardinal Richelieu is like, I want every like bounty hunter and like ne'er do well to find them and stop them. And it's like they're going, and everyone that we see coming after them are like the typical people you see coming after them. But then there's this scene where they're just walking, and they're just like, is someone whistling? Do you hear whistling? And they're like, cannonball! And there's a cannonball, and they're walking past a castle that's shooting cannonballs at them.
Uh-huh.
So everyone's out looking for them. Fine. They see specks off in the distance, and they just know that's the people they're supposed to be attacking. Like, I don't understand, other than like I don't even understand like, we need an action beat here, because it's surrounded by action beats. It's not like we need an action beat scene. I just don't know why that scene exists. It's very strange. I guess because Cannonball. I
think I saw that once, and I don't know if I ever even watched it all the way through. I just don't get the appeal of it.
Kiefer Sutherland's great.
Yeah, and I love Sutherland.
Charlie Sheen's great. And I love Oliver Platt. That's my favorite Oliver Platt. It's real unfortunate what his career has become. Because, like, he's a main character in that movie. He was a main character in Flatliners. And now he's the guy that Professor X goes, get in the car.
Oh, wow, that's unfortunate.
Yeah.
That's just like a cameo.
Yeah.
Not even a cameo, because nobody knows who that is.
Yeah, no, it's unfortunate.
Man, it's just an extra. That is, I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's all.
Oh, you know that from First Class, the heavyset guy.
Yeah.
Oh no!
Yeah. No, he's amazing, and he steals that movie.
You know what's a real Norm Macdonald thing to say? We told a joke!
You know what the...
So you said that, I was like, that sounds like a thing Norm Macdonald.
You know what the weak link in Three Musketeers is?
What's
that
that?
almost is charming? It's Chris O'Donnell.
Is it really?
I mean, everyone else is so much fun in that movie.
I assumed he must stick out like a sore thumb in that.
He kind of does.
Okay.
Like you know, Keith Sutherland's doing his Keith Sutherland thing. Like he's the sad one. And then Oliver Platt is lively and just super fun. And then what's his name? I said it earlier. The third Musketeer. I think he's Athos. Athos, Porthos, Aramis. Yeah, he's Athos. It's Charlie Sheen. Charlie Sheen is there, and he's also a lot of fun. Not in the same way as either of the other two, but like, and then the bad guy is Tim Curry, and then the Darth Vader of the film is gravelly voice guy Michael Wincott, who I love. He's the bad guy in The Crow.
Gravelly voice guy to get there. Oh, he's great in that. Yeah.
Yeah. He also plays Mal Reynolds in Alien Resurrection. I don't know if you've ever seen Alien Resurrection.
Yes, but only when it came out, so it's been a very long time.
Go back to it.
Why?
The crew of that ship, the main characters, are the Firefly cast.
Oh, really?
Ron Perlman plays who's there? Jane. Ron Perlman's Jane. Michael Wincott, the gravelly voice guy, is Mal.
Oh, interesting.
And Whedon didn't notice until someone pointed out.
That is a Joss Whedon script.
Yeah.
I know about that.
But Whedon didn't notice until someone pointed out to me. He's like, hey, I guess that is like it's the same team.
Which means those archetypes in his head come from a place.
Yes.
Or those, I shouldn't say archetypes, but those characters.
But Michael Wincott's just a weird casting for Mal because like he's the fun captain of a ship. And like Michael Wincott is always like scary guy. I think he plays the same role in Count My Cristo. I think he's in that.
I would
too.
never have thought to go back to that movie.
Alien Resurrection.
Resurrection, yeah.
It's fascinating.
Yeah.
It's fascinating to try and figure out. Like I think this almost works. It's not as bad as people say it is until the end. And the end is where we know they like rewrote the script. It's an interesting film to watch.
You can say that now about a lot of the Alien movies, right? Prometheus is an interesting film.
I might like Resurrection more than 3, which 3 fans will think is blasphemous, but
yeah,
I think
people
3's
already
kind of
think
boring.
we're crazy. We kind of like Covenant.
I'm willing to put my foot down and say I like Prometheus, because Prometheus has a thing that I can't say about about other films, which is, look, Prometheus doesn't make sense. On paper, it's not a good movie. I do not question it while I'm watching it. I believe everything that's happening while I'm seeing it.
I was sucked in.
It takes me away with it.
When I finally watched it, I was sucked in.
You can
then afterwards, we talked about it for an hour, and we were like, I don't know, this.
You can write critical papers on, but I'd already done that when we rewatched it.
Yeah.
And still, knowing all of those things, I was still sucked
in the
that
moment. Changes your
And I can't tell you that's not a good movie. I can't say that's not a good movie. That is the point of fucking movies. I should be sucked in, and I should be whisked away on this adventure.
Yeah.
That's what movies are for.
You were taken out.
Yeah. In my opinion, that's a good movie.
Yeah.
I can pick it apart.
Can you be a good movie and ultimately not be a good story?
I think you can. I think you can. Yeah.
Well, after those
Should we start?
topics, Eric, what would you like to start with today? What is your first topic, sir? We were like, let's rapid fire a bunch of topics.
We did rapid fire a bunch of topics.
We did that. They just weren't things we wrote down, and you still have 8 things you hope to talk about. Now, that's not going to happen, but we're going to get through as many things as we possibly can. Once again, patrons, thanks a bunch for your support. We sure appreciate you. Thanks for hanging out with us. And now, for more hanging out, Eric Holden, what is the first thing of your 8 topics, sir?
Okay, so this is something I've been thinking about lately that I think you're going to have a knee-jerk disagreement with, but...
Well, let's just put my knee right here.
But I want to talk it through.
Sure.
Is it possible...
Okay, I'll just put this down for a minute.
Is it possible... because TNG is going to be my reference point. That's what's going to make you knee-jerk. Is it possible...
Yeah, have you seen enough of that show to say whatever you're about to say?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Because I'm not talking about the show, I'm talking about people.
Oh, sure.
This is a people topic.
TNG people?
No.
Sorry.
Not
I'm going to listen. I'm going to listen. I am.
So...
I really am.
Is it possible that what we think about is like legitimate criticism and things like that is bullshit with age? So, one of the things that I've noticed, especially after I started getting into TNG and liking TNG, is there's almost an age cutoff. If you were born before this year, I don't like any of that new stuff. I like the original series and that's it.
That's
My
right.
grandmother was like this.
Yeah.
He's like this. My grandfather was like this. My
My
grandmother is
granddad
like this.
was that way. My dad likes TNG, but he can't get into it like he does TOS. He never goes through and watches all of it.
And so I started thinking about, before we recorded this, we were having a conversation about Hook. And I said, Hook is hated, but it will be well remembered. The reason Hook will be well remembered is because the generation that grew up with it will then become the dominant generation, and it will be a beloved film. It doesn't matter what the generation before it thought. It doesn't matter if they all hated it. We all grew up with it, and we all liked that film. So it's going to be remembered well, even though it was critically land-based when it came out. Is there a line for just like youth culture and like are there things that I'm hating now that in 50 years will be remembered well, and it doesn't matter that I don't like it because the generation came up with it? Does that make sense? And are those, because it's easy for you, it's easy for me to go look at TNG and go, well, this is, in my opinion, clearly superior to the original series. Especially once you get to when it gets going or whatever.
Yeah. At least best of both worlds onward.
Are those older people wrong? Like, is it fair to be like, well, they're just old, they just didn't get it, or something like that? Like, well, because it's almost a whole generation. I'm not saying there's no outliers,
but there are so many factors, right?
Yeah.
Because within that group, they have different motivations. I think that's important to point out. Some of them is just straight up nostalgia. Well, it's not what I grew up with.
Sure.
And so I don't care. So they're dismissive. Now, how many of them are just straight up dismissive? I saw an episode or two, or maybe it's on television every now and again, and I watch it, but are they really watching? Are they really, like when you say, well, maybe like we have this maybe unfair attitude sometimes where they just don't get it, but if they don't give it enough of a time of day, if they're giving it 50% of their attention, maybe they don't get it because they're not watching it.
Okay.
You know?
But if let's say I'm 50.
But that's just one motivation. There's also maybe the people who do actually really give it a chance, and they still think that it's lacking something the old series had. And with early TNG especially,
and it's also possible
doesn't have the conflict, doesn't have the triad. TNG and TOS are different animals.
But let's move forward. Let's say I'm 50.
But I think that group is smaller than the first group.
Yeah, sure. Let's move forward. Let's say I'm 50.
Right.
And I don't like the CW shows.
Yeah.
Well, it's not a group of people that the CW shows is for them what Lois and Clark was for me.
Right.
And then they're going to raise their children on that. And now I'm a cranky old man.
But endearing.
And now I'm a cranky old man telling you that that's no good. Like, do you kind of see where I'm going? We're like, because I think I'm completely reasonable, and I have legitimate reasons for disliking this thing. Sure. I bet you all of those people in the '80s felt the same way about TNG, or let's take it with Star Wars.
Yeah.
Like, you now have an entire generation of people that grew up with the prequels,
right,
and think they are better than they are. I am easier on the prequels.
Well, you can even do this with comics, right?
Well, yeah, we've talked about the Peter Parker thing.
Yeah.
We have an entire generation of people that have grown up with not Peter Parker as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah. Or the generation before, Ultimate instead of Stan Lee, whatever
we
it is.
We both grew up with a married Spider-Man. There's an entire generation before us that thinks married Spider-Man is a complete betrayal of everything that character is.
Yeah. You have a whole generation that grew up with animated X-Men. People would look at that show now and think it's pretty silly. But that was the thing that got that show popular, that really got X-Men popular.
We've had conversation. I think you and I have had conversation. I've had a conversation with somebody about this. I think it was you about how is Wolverine popular?
Yeah.
Is he popular?
Yeah.
With anyone that's not above the age of 25.
Sure. Some of it is, of course, just about what's being sold right now, and what you're invested in because, again, lots of factors. You get more invested, a lot of people, in what's coming out right now because there's more people to talk about it with. It's not just what is being sold to you. It's easy to fall in the trap of saying, well, and people do this, but saying everyone only likes the thing they're being sold like right now, and we're all brainwashed by corporations. But remember that we're also living in Nostalgiaville, and old things are also being sold to you all the time. And so TOS found a whole new audience after '09. And I talked to lots of people who saw TOS for the first time after '09 and went, oh, this is what Star Trek is. And they came to like that show, but they needed '09 first as like a thing to get them into it in the first place. So it's not fair to say that everybody is just liking whatever they're being told to like right now.
Sure.
But also, the flip of that is the people who, because everything is relative, don't understand that a like lesser, more watered down version of a thing that they're being sold right now is just almost factually inferior to the thing before, because and this is always true, but you get things like, an example I like to go to is the remake of Carrie. Like, it's just not as interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't care who you are, like I think factually it's just not as, I don't see how, you can't convince me that that's a more interesting
Are
movie.
you and I in 1989 having this conversation about TNG? If we're the ages we are now. Will we sit there and go, it's just factually not as good as TOS?
Well, that's hard because it's true then.
Sure.
With 89. Now,
sure.
if you look at 1993, 94...
But if we drop off...
I don't know.
If we drop off, this is garbage. This isn't as good as the original.
I think, yeah. I have a unique perspective on Star Trek because I grew up watching all of it.
Mm-hmm.
And, I mean, DS9 I came to a little bit later, but overall, I grew up watching everything that there was. And so, like, I distinguish them. I understand the difference of eras and the difference of, like, culturally where we are when things were being made and what TOS was... The big, you know, like social issues that TOS was dealing with versus things that TNG was talking about, and things like that. So, like, I grew up really appreciating both of them, but when I look at TNG and TOS, I just simply say they're two different animals. Like, almost, I think it was kind of an accident, but once you get past, especially the first season, in the first couple seasons of TNG, they're not making the same show. It's still Star Trek, but they're not making the same show. I think there's a difference between...
And as we talked about in the omnibus...
and I don't not like Discovery because I'm 34 and I grew up with TNG.
Sure.
You see what I'm saying? Like, that's not why Discovery sucks in my mind.
But, if you stop now and Discovery turns around, and you don't go back, because you heard the first season was good, and so you're still hearing it's good, so nothing's changed.
Yeah. Yeah.
In 50 years,
okay,
are you now the old people that didn't like TNG?
Because you don't like Discovery?
Yes.
If it's good and...
If you dropped off...
if a lot of people say it's good.
If you dropped off because it was bad and everyone said it's good, and you're like, well, you said it was good before and it wasn't, are you now the old people that don't like TNG? Or the people that like TNG and nothing after?
You know what I'm going to say, though? It's a case-by-case thing.
Sure.
Like,
sure.
That's only weird if what's being made is basically a carbon copy. There are big differences with all these things. You know what I mean? TNG doesn't have the interpersonal conflict that TOS had. Discovery is
too much interpersonal conflict.
Yeah, and trying to make like a real dark, edgy thing out of a thing that wasn't, and all the things I hate about Discovery, and like throwing its politics at you, that kind of thing. But forget Discovery for a minute. Then like DS9, it's trying to be different. It's going a different way. You know what I mean? So like, there are people who love TNG that swear by TNG over DS9 and don't like DS9 because it got too dark and it's against Roddenberry's vision. This is not always about age.
Mm. Well, no, but I think it's an interesting thing. I also think it works backwards. I think about that a lot. Where I'm like, okay, so everyone agrees that The Godfather is one of the greatest movies ever made. What about people that gave that bad reviews when it came out? Are those people invalidated? Like, do those people not matter? Like, if you go back, like, are there legitimate criticisms of that film to be had that no one makes and will never make ever again because we all know we're supposed to love this movie? It's a brilliant film.
That can be a big problem too. Where like, and I see what you're saying now a little more with TNG thing, where that was suddenly this really critically acclaimed thing where, and also it was like the #1 show on television where like, we've all agreed it's great. Like, can you criticize Stranger Things? I never hear criticisms of Stranger Things. I've not watched that show. I never hear anybody criticize Stranger Things because it's been heralded as that you don't hear criticisms of Breaking Bad, except for maybe the ending from like 5% of people. But I mean, like you don't hear a lot of criticism about that. And I guess that is kind of the reverse thing where it's like maybe down the road people will start looking at it more critically. But with The Godfather, it's like maybe people have looked at it more critically later. Or
less critically.
Or can right? Yeah. Or like, are you even allowed to?
But no, this is a thing I've been kind of thinking about. Just the idea of reviewing and criticism and just backwards and forwards. And is anything actually legitimate in the grand scheme of time?
Well, I think
you could never criticize a Shakespeare play. I
think it's and I think you should be able to. That's the thing is, I think that it's as I've always said. I mean, the way criticism works, the way reviewing works is it is valid if you can support your points. If it's in there and you're not making shit up, it's valid, and no one else has to agree with you. But if you're a bad actor, then no. But if you took it on its own terms and you said, I don't like this, and then you support your points with examples, then there you go. And people need to be allowed to change their minds, because it's important to keep, as I keep saying, all of those different variables intact. So when you say, is it not valid, is an old review not valid because we all, 40 years later, decided The Godfather was the best thing in the world? Maybe it's more valid at the time. Maybe the world has changed such where it's difficult to look at it the same way we did, you know what I mean? Or maybe that person wouldn't agree with themselves 40 years later, and maybe it's not just because the world has decided that's a masterpiece.
Well, and I think that happens.
This is all case by case. I can't give you a solid answer on this.
Well, and I think that happens with older people. Where, like, you hear older people, like, because the minute somebody over the age of like 50, says something about TNG, I'm like, well, you probably didn't watch it.
Yeah,
you probably don't.
That's what I'm saying.
But you don't know that.
Yeah.
In 50 years, if I talk about how shitty Last Jedi is and how I quit Star Wars, they're gonna be like, yeah, but you didn't. You're just being a fickle old person. Like you're just cranky old man.
You just needed to be like your and then of course your argument with Last Jedi is, well, it was too much like certain things. And, and that kind of thing. And people that really hated the previous one. Yeah.
But in the
I think most of the time, even if people do,
you think the cream rises to the top? Do you believe that
it completely depends?
Okay.
It completely depends. I think in the grand scheme of things, when we start looking back at stuff, yes. But I also think the popularity of the time informs that to the degree of where the popular cream will rise to the top, but you will have things that are brilliant that nobody ever finds out about
or get forgotten about.
Both.
Like the obvious example is Lensman. Lensman was the pinnacle science fiction series, lost out to Foundation for greatest science fiction series of all time,
and we've all forgotten about it. It's out of print. Nobody reads it.
Yeah.
But back to the whole, is it fair to say these people probably didn't give it a fair shake? Like, they're in their 50s and they just never actually looked at it. But did they actually look at it? You're not in their minds. You don't know. No. And I'm not just saying you weren't there to see if they actually looked at it. They could have watched every episode and were too biased in a mindset where there's just no way around it. Because if I love a version of a thing so much and another version comes out, I can do my very best to put away the other thing. It's still not mine. I have this, and I'm sorry, guys, this is going to come up a lot in the next year or so because I'm doing so much Morphomania. No other Power Rangers will ever be my Power Rangers. So, like, the reason that
and they'll also never be Dino Thunder.
And the reason I love Dino Thunder as much as I do has some degree to do. I mean, the storytelling is way better than most of the other shows, but some of that obviously has to do with nostalgia in the first place. So, like, a lot of
you watch it in the first place.
That's right. A lot of Mighty Morphin fans love Dino Thunder. Of course they do, right?
It's dinosaurs again, and it's Tommy.
I like what I've seen.
And it's high school again.
Of Time Force. I like what I've seen of SPD. I can really enjoy them as like other shows, but I almost have to put away Power Rangers, and I think some people might have that with other Star Treks, where like put away Star Trek. I like Next Generation, but it's not Star Trek. You see what I'm saying? I think some people might have that.
Well, and we had a discussion. This is going back years when we had the 7, and we had a group chat of the 7.
When we get new X-Men, it will never be X2.
Sure.
It will never be my big screen X-Men.
Sure. Well, and you love Days of Future Past so much, but it's connected to X2.
That's it. And I think the story's wonderful. I can give you a million other reasons that movie is brilliant. But what's the hook in the first place? Isn't that important? Like, what grabs you in the first place?
But we had a so when we had the 7, we had a group chat with the 7. And you're going to go to Morphin here, and Lo wants to watch.
Oh, I forgot about that. Because Lo's going to come with me.
Because Lo's going to come with you.
Yeah, we had a wonderful time.
And you're going. She wants to watch Power Rangers.
She'd never seen Power Rangers. She was so cool to come with me to that convention.
And you tell her
she bought a morpher. Do you know that?
I did not know. I know she cosplayed. I didn't know she bought a morpher.
She bought a $50 morpher to do that
That's
show.
Cool.
Yeah, she was wonderful.
Cool.
Drove us everywhere.
So you told her to watch Mighty Morphin. Right. And I was like, yes. But these ones are also really good, and you should try these as well. And you were like, but they're not really Power Rangers. So I'm like, no, they are Power Rangers.
And I at this point disagree with myself to some
degree.
Sure. Like,
but just to your point about like it's not Star Trek, it's
I hadn't given those things a fair shake, and like the more I've looked at like the grand scheme of it. Like the oeuvre of Power Rangers, I'm like, okay, maybe it doesn't have to be the exact same premise every time. Well, like maybe you can be police and still like I'm starting to get it more, but I still have a knee-jerk reaction. I do have that where it's like, yeah, but
it's not teenagers in high school. It's not
they're not superheroes in the as much as
in the
they're
traditional sense,
like public servants.
A lot of them don't have secret identities and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's just something that I've been kicking around and thinking about, just the grand scheme of.
I think sometimes we've talked about this a lot, but I love this topic. I think sometimes there's a hurdle you have to jump.
Well,
don't you think?
Yeah.
Let me just say on this for a second. Where like you love that original thing so much that you're not willing to jump the hurdle and see the history of it, the broader everything. And if you do that with Star Trek, for instance, it's easier to appreciate TNG, DS9, and mostly Beyond.
Well, and it's
I don't
also,
mean the movie Beyond. I mean Beyond DS9.
Well, it's also easy.
And
now.
I had that with Power Rangers. I had to jump a hurdle where I was like, and the thing I had to figure out with Power Rangers was there's this broader thing. There's this broader genre called tokusatsu, and it can be any number of different things. Well, and when I realized that Sentai goes through like 1,000 different themes, it was easier to swallow. This is still Power Rangers.
Well, and it's also easy now with Star Trek and with Power Rangers, which is I think the case that I made in that discussion about Power Rangers is, yeah, but there's more now that's not that than there is.
That's right.
There's now more Star Trek that's not TOS than there is TOS.
But I don't want to fall in the trap of saying that necessarily validates.
No.
Some of that needs to be good.
No. I agree. I'm not saying that's like an argument, but I'm saying, but when you're looking at the grander scheme of the history of something, at some point there is more. At some point there will be more. I mean, there's already more Disney Star Wars movies, or there's already as many Disney Star Wars movies as there are not Disney Star Wars movies. Yes.
No, we had
one more. We have
6.
one more.
We got to make one more.
We have to make one more. Next year there will be as many Disney Star Wars movies as there are real Star Wars.
Are there
movies.
5 or are there 4?
Force Awakens, Last Jedi, Rogue One, Solo.
That's 4.
That's 4. Okay, so there's 2.
No, we gotta make 2 more.
We have to make 2 more.
I was like, what am I missing?
Yeah,
no, they've only made 4 movies.
But
it just feels weird because it seems like there should have been another one. It seems like there should be one this Christmas.
Assuming they keep up one a year, which I'm not convinced they will, but assuming they keep up one a year, in 3 years there will be more Disney Star Wars than there is not.
Yes.
What do you do with that? But the final point I want to make that was jumping off of something you said earlier was about getting over your hurdle and your own feelings towards something. I talked about this, I think, in the review, I still can maybe intellectually agree that 2049 is better than Blade Runner. I can never allow myself to think that or say that.
Yeah.
It's not Blade Runner. And that is a movie that I think a lot of people... I think it's a movie that has a lot of fair criticism. That you almost have to, like, brace yourself before you say something about it, because it has the reputation it has. It has a reputation as a masterpiece.
Yeah.
There's a lot of problems with that masterpiece. I do think it's a masterpiece. I think there's a lot of problems with that masterpiece.
Sure.
I think there's premise issues with that movie.
And that's a loaded term. What does it mean?
Yeah.
What is a masterpiece?
Yeah.
How much of it is the quality of the thing versus how influential it is and all of that.
But even loving 2049, I'm like, but it's not Blade Runner.
Yeah.
I can't say it's better. Because it's not that thing. It's not that original thing.
But you can talk about the elements.
Yeah.
You know? You can say, like, it
has a character arc.
Put those scripts together, I don't see how you can't say...
Well, it has a character arc for its protagonist. The word baddie has a character arc in Blade Runner. But, like, the protagonist has a character arc.
Yeah. It's a little easier to follow. I have a little bit of a better... And I think it's paced better, even though they're both really slow and deliberately paced.
One of the things, I think somebody brought it up. And
there's one cut, and it's definitive, and it doesn't need to be messed with anymore.
It's a detective film that has a mystery to be solved.
Right.
So the first one is not, but it's not really, like, it's shot like a detective movie. It's really a bounty hunter movie.
I thought you said that walking out. I didn't think that was the thing you just got from
me. Maybe it's not. I mean,
I thought you thought of that yourself.
At this point. That was my favorite movie last year.
Can you believe it was that long?
Yeah.
Can you believe...
I watched it a couple times since. I love that movie.
Can you believe that we did a double feature with that and Happy Death Day? Was it Happy Death Day?
Did we?
There was something we did a double feature with 2049. We were crazy enough to watch that movie right after something else.
Was 2049? Oh, it wasn't. It wasn't Flatliners.
It wasn't Flatliners. No, I think it was Happy Death Day.
That's a weird experience. I can't remember if that's
I'm
true or not, but
almost
I
positive.
think it lines up release date.
It was something just almost polar opposite, totally different genre.
Yeah.
That should have been a GNN. That was excellent.
Sure.
Good topic there.
We could also, at some point, have the same conversation about language.
Yeah, where it's like, your language now is whack.
My parents, not actually my parents, but like the adults in my life
I
had
went
issue
with that
with
word
ain't,
choice on purpose.
and things like that.
Yes.
Ain't is now.
Sure.
I don't even think about ain't.
Nope.
And there's a lot of words now that I'm like, that's not a word. Stop fucking saying that.
Yeah, there's a difference between colloquialisms and ignorance. There's a fine line. I really don't mind colloquialisms. I have this kind of pet peeve where I want people to know where things come from. Like, not all history and everything. Like this is one of my biggest examples for this, where like could have versus could have. I don't even have as much of a problem anymore when people write it, even though it makes me cringe a little bit. But like, I want you to know what a fucking contraction is.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, know it's a colloquialism. You know if you're being ironic, or if it's just like, this is a thing people say. Like, there's all kinds of dumb things I say that are just slangy, and
Well, and I do feel like an old man when there's slang that I take issue with, like feels.
I don't like feels either. But I'll say it ironically.
Yeah, the slippery slope with ironically is how long can you say ironically before you just start saying it?
Yeah, exactly.
No, yeah, it's a whole thing.
Mm-hmm. Well, anyway,
Yeah.
Eric, there is a topic that I was supposed to bring up last time that I didn't get to. I think I did all of one topic last time. I think it was like this show. We did like half an hour on one topic. Okay, this was only 20 minutes, but we did like 15 minutes on topics that weren't even
It
written
was a
down.
big topic.
It was a good topic. Well done.
I said big, you said good. I was not congratulating myself.
I'm congratulating
Sure,
you. Congratulations, sir. I'll give you a trophy, but I don't have a trophy.
Sure.
Chewbacca's lover asked me to talk about a thing, and I don't always take requests on the show, but I was, but I looked into this a little bit, and it's been a few weeks, so I don't know if I'll remember all the details. But and he wished we had brought this up when we did our YouTube topic, and we talked about the pros and cons to where YouTube is right now.
Mm-hmm.
And I had forgotten to look at the article. I guess it was a video. The video he sent me about this. And this is not getting a lot of press. There's not been a lot of talk about this. Allegedly, YouTube has been stealing Super Chat money.
I know about this.
Have you heard about this?
I have heard about this. Or I've heard that they've... Okay, so... Let me rewind a bit.
Sure.
There's a podcast that I actually don't listen to as much anymore, but I used to listen to weekly. There's a podcast called The Dick Show. If anyone knows what that is, you know I listen to that now. It's a very specific...
He listens to something called that.
Well, the host is Dick Masterson.
No, I know, I'm just saying. He listens.
It's a very specific podcast, that's... I'm not even going to explain it. Okay, I listen to a podcast called The Dick Show, which is often associated with alt-right things, and things like that. It is the kind of people where I think they're saying interesting and nuanced things. Other people are hearing just hate speech, or don't even actually listen to what they're saying and just go, well, they're hate speech people, right? It's one of those. And I've actually skirted around ever actually saying that I listen to that, even on After Dark. But I do. If you know what it is, I listen to that. Or I did. It's been months. I actually stopped listening to it because it makes me... it's part of my disconnect from politics, is I also kind of stopped listening to this because he just talked about things like, God, that makes me so angry. I just be angry all day. And I had to cut that out of my life.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate because it's also really funny. They did a YouTube thing, which I believe was with Super Chats, where they were raising money for, like, kids' cancer or something like that, right? Like, it's a charity thing. People said, well, the people that held that are racist, so they shouldn't get that money. They weren't getting a penny of that money. All of that money was going to this charity organization. YouTube took it away and said, no.
Yeah.
You don't get that. And they're like, we weren't even earned, like, that wasn't even us. It wasn't even going to go to us. But YouTube stepped in and said, like, moral policing, you're bad people. You don't deserve this.
Yeah, and the moral policing thing has been a big problem. But that is an isolated case on a grand scale. I'm talking about individual Super Chats.
Just all of them?
No.
Oh, okay.
Selective ones.
Okay.
This is, once again, part of the whole, like, cherry-picking based on algorithms thing. if somebody leaves a super chat with a bad buzzword in it, the person making the video, so you've not heard about this,
No.
the person making the video doesn't get that money, and YouTube allegedly gives it to charity.
So,
Now again, I say allegedly because I watched a video about this that cited a couple sources. I've not looked deeper into it. I just listened to the video. So, grain of salt. This is from, and I was gonna tell you the name of the channel, but the name of the channel. I was just looking at it. I don't know who this is. The name of the channel is it's a gaming channel. Or they had gaming footage on top of this.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people do that.
Mm-hmm.
But the channel now says something along the lines of old channel seed into video for new channel. So like, I don't know the old name of it. They're trying to redirect you to the new channel now. Anyway, and they didn't have a link directly there because they're weird. I don't know what that's about. Anyway,
it probably makes sense if you follow them.
But that does sound like a thing YouTube would do, and that sounds like the shadiest thing they've ever done.
So what you're saying is if in the Captain Logan show,
and I don't know if it's ever affected me. And this is the reason Chewbacca's lover sent it. He was like, given the Captain Logan show, you need to look into this because you could be losing money. Now, when I look at my revenue based on the super chats we've gotten, I don't look real deep into it where I look at every one and I see how much YouTube is taking. It looks like I'm legitimately getting as much money as I'm. So I'll see, like, I made X amount of dollars for this video, and you make a lot more because of super chats than you do with just ad revenue, of course. People sent me super chats. That sounds about right. You know what I mean?
So you're saying theoretically,
I could have lost $2 here, $1 here.
So you're saying theoretically, if let's say Donald Trump says something about Batman. Let's say Donald Trump says he's like Batman.
By the way, people asked last show when I said, and I meant to leave a comment because people keep asking about this. Did last show get demonetized? You remember this?
Yes.
You remember this?
Did it?
Did not.
Interesting.
But, or no, I'm sorry. That was not this last show. That was a GNN. Okay. The GNN, you remember it was the GNN about YouTube, about this very topic, where it was not this topic, but the YouTube topic, where it was like, you'll get it's similar, where you'll get demonetized because you said words that the algorithms don't like. That video did not get demonetized, but our last one of these did.
Interesting.
I think it's because of the title. I put effing in the title, and I think that got it.
Okay, so let's play hypothetical.
Yeah,
let's say that Donald Trump compares himself to Batman and says that he's basically Batman.
Did I tell you the title of the last show? Last After Dark?
No.
Read an effing book!
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wait, is it actually effing or is it fucking?
I just wrote effing.
It only goes to the patrons.
Well, yeah, but the algorithms work the way the algorithms work, regardless of whether the videos are listed. So, if you could remember, I put up that Dino Thunder video just for the patrons.
Yeah.
Did not matter. Algorithms still hit it.
Okay.
For copyright.
So let's say that Donald Trump comes out and says, "I'm basically Batman." Right? Like, this is not outside of the realm.
Twist.
But like, I mean, this is not like ridiculous, right? Like Donald Trump could come out and be like, "I'm basically Batman. I'm a rich guy that fights crime." And like,
what would be ridiculous is if after that many chicken nuggets he was Batman. I don't think it's possible.
But let's say that he says that, and then someone super chats you on the Captain Logan
I'm not
show.
judging the man for his weight. I just don't think it's possible to eat that much chicken and be Batman. We know he eats chicken. He's obsessed with
It's protein-based.
He eats a lot of chicken. We know that. I'm not making fun of his weight. I'm just saying.
It's protein-based.
You can't eat fried chicken from a fast food joint and be Batman.
Sure. Okay. Let's say,
and those fuckers on Arrow cannot eat that much Big Belly Burger. God damn it.
Let's say that Donald Trump says this. Okay. And let's say that on the Captain Logan show, someone super chats goes, "Hey, Captain Logan, can you talk about Donald Trump saying he's Batman?"
Well, I never bring up Donald Trump. I would fucking talk about that.
Okay.
If you said he was Batman, I would absolutely talk about that.
But let's say that
you've heard my opinion already.
That someone super chats that and says, "What do you think about Donald Trump saying he's Batman?"
Yes.
It's theoretically possible that asking that question would demonetize that. You wouldn't get that money in that question.
Batman is that controversial.
Sure. But what I'm saying is, theoretically, the fact that Trump is...
Yes.
You know what the bullshit thing about that is? About the Trump as part of the algorithm? Because I think Trump is part of the algorithm.
Well, very often, and also there's a lot of words that just, outside of the proper context...
What if you're saying Trump card?
Mean all kinds of other things.
What if you're saying Trump card?
Sure. And also, that's not a fucking swear word. It's the president. I don't care how you feel about him. It's ridiculous.
I agree. But okay, I was playing a scenario
Yes,
where
that could
we
happen.
on our channel could get outside of After Dark could get, because we're pretty apolitical.
Yes.
On
But
the
you
regular
could
channel.
get your super chat stolen. Now, if they want to, here's what I don't get about it. Any word that would be part of that algorithm, I would assume, would also be one of the words that would flag it for spam.
Okay.
You, as the content creator, can decide whether or not you're going to make those visible or not. Now, I don't know if super chats ever have that. No, I guess they don't. I guess a regular comment will have that. Well, that's how you solve it, right? You have a super chat. That's how you solve it. It's easy.
You have super chat. You put the actual thing in the normal comment, right?
Right. Where
This is controversial, and then the next post is
you actually get paid. Like it's still the number, but it's up to the content creator whether or not he wants to read it because it's got lewd language in it or whatever. So the rest of the audience can't see it, but you can, and you make a judgment call. That's how it should be handled. It sounds real scammy to me for YouTube to go, we're not even going to let the content creator have the money, much less read the comment. That's preposterous. And then this idea that it goes to charity, I don't believe that for a second.
well, not only that, but you're literally robbing people.
You're robbing people. We wanted that to go...
sounds illegal.
We wanted that to go to... It sounds illegal to me. That was supposed to go to the content creator. And maybe they take their cut or whatever, but that was meant to go to the content creator. That would be like Patreon not liking someone that subscribes to you, and so they take your money. Like, why are... At the very least, why is the content creator being penalized? What it should do is not let the fucking thing go through. Either it does what I said, which I think is how you solve it.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm right about that. But even if you don't do it that way, if they just don't want the content creator to have the power to read it because they think it's too controversial or lewd or wrong or whatever, then just have an error message. We're sorry, you can't send that super chat. You got to write something else.
Sure.
Do that. Or it comes up empty.
But don't do a backdoor like afterwards.
Now, that's maybe a little bit unfair to the person that sent it. If you like $5 super chat, they send it, but no one can read it, but you still got the money. That's still better than what they're doing, though. And why are we fucking the content creator? If somebody wants to give me $5, they're not going to be as happy to just hear their name read. But they were trying to donate, and if it didn't go through and I don't get to read it, they can send me another message. They like
No, I guess the obvious way, and I guess this could,
again.
this
I
could
don't
get,
like that as well, but that's still not scammy in the same way.
Well, and this is in that weird.
And all you have to do is send a message that says this is against our terms and service.
Yeah, but but then we're in that weird area, that weird cyberpunky area of. But
Anti-free speech and all that.
do companies like YouTube and Twitter, and Facebook, which are now ways people interact with each other, do they have the right? Because yes, they are
private companies.
They are a
Yeah,
private
yes,
company.
technically they do have the right.
But the way it's integrated into society now.
But there are two questions there, and I mean, like, the two things you have to talk about almost separately is, right now they are private companies. The question is whether or not they should be. The question is
Yes.
whether or not they should be considered utilities or something like that.
At this point.
And I see the arguments on both sides of that.
Yeah. Yeah, no, absolutely. I'm not saying that should happen, but I'm saying
I don't know. I see the argument on both
there is
sides.
an interesting, weird conversation where it's like,
That's right.
corporations control how we communicate with each other.
Yeah. Yeah, and that ain't right.
No, it's not. It's real weird and dangerous. Like Facebook used to have a thing, or they probably still have this.
But if that's actually happening, I don't see how they're getting away with that. That seems illegal. I agree with you.
But then who can fight them?
The government?
Yeah, but
would they? You know what I mean?
yeah,
Is that gonna be a priority on anybody's list? Like,
yeah.
we're still in this weird place, and we're getting
Like
away from
PewDiePie
it.
would have to do it. Like PewDiePie and like other big YouTubers.
It would have to be so high profile.
Yeah, yeah.
The CinemaSins. It would have to be so high profile.
Mm.
Even he's probably not big enough, honestly. And he's huge.
Yeah.
But yeah.
PewDiePie is the only one I'm aware of that is that big and is like a person. Like most of the other channels of that, like hundreds of millions of subscribers are like gag
they're a
videos.
group or something.
Yeah, skit video, things like that.
There's like a whole organization doing it.
yeah.
Yeah. I forget what I was going to say, but
Sorry.
No, you're fine. I just, like, again, if that's happening, that's awful, but like I said, I don't know.
We haven't seen it.
This is what I was going to say. So, No, we've not seen it, and that's why I take it with a grain of salt to a degree. But that's probably happening. That video, I'll try to remember to link it. If I forget, somebody tell me about it. But that video, it sounded legit. It sounded like it was really happening. We're getting away from it, but we're in that still a little bit of a weird transition area. This is going to sound terrible to put it this way, where we have a generation that is partly helping to run the country that still doesn't understand technology.
Yes.
And at some point we'll die and we won't.
Yes.
That will.
And then it'll be us that don't understand.
It will lead to some problems and it will lead to other solutions, right? Where you have people who don't get the internet and technology and aren't concerned about these things because they don't understand them. So you have this whole like, oh, YouTube's fucking stealing super chats. What the hell's a super chat and why is that important? Like, some of this will just go over the heads of senators and congressmen who don't, know anything about technology. Who got their first, iPhone last Thursday and they haven't even figured out how to download, Candy Crush. So there you go. I went Candy Crush because that's not even like popular anymore.
Sure. I'm sure people. I'm sure it still makes more money than either you or I will ever see in our lifetimes.
So we've only done 2 topics so far.
I've got a fast one.
Can you do a fast one? I'll do a fast one. Go ahead, and then we'll see where we are after that.
So this is basically a rant.
Yeah, go ahead. You gotta save those, man. You gotta save the rants.
Yeah, but this is maybe a little more after darky.
It's like the whales. They need saving.
It might be a little bit more after darky.
Do you know how few lions are left?
Yes.
It's like 3,000. It's really bad.
I was going to say 7.
The sign that I saw at the zoo that said 3,000 was an older sign. And I don't want to make fun of the dead lions, but...
What, do they update it? Does it roll? Is it a rolling number thing?
It's like a Walmart sign?
Like this many customers served?
Watch for falling lions? This is not funny. That's horrible.
So
the lions
are dying. This is a little bit more maybe after dark.
I do think that sign's like 7 or 8 years old. I don't know how many lions are left. Anyway,
was
it lions? Was it tigers? No, maybe there's more.
Maybe
lions.
bears.
I think it was fucking tigers. Yeah. I'm not gonna say it. You can say it.
But this is a little bit more after darky. So I'm gonna go off a rant. You might not agree with me on this. It's fine. I'm just gonna talk.
Am I gonna have a knee-jerk reaction?
Maybe.
Is that? I didn't do that last time. I didn't have a knee-jerk reaction to your TNG thing.
But this is something that's been building since.
Just my socks.
I can't tell what they are.
That's Robotnik.
Oh, okay.
It's Dr. Eggman. Look at that.
I was like, is that Doc? I don't know if that's...
Yeah.
Anyways, so
it's a Mickey Mouse. Sorry.
Okay. So I don't want to get off the rant here, but this is something that's been building. This is something that's been building since I worked at the grocery store. I want to talk about public restrooms.
Okay.
I want to talk about how no one knows how to fucking use them.
Yeah.
I want to talk about my new system that I want to implement and will implement if I ever own my own establishment.
This is better for After Dark than GNN.
Yes.
Yeah, I agree with you. Go ahead. Okay, what would you implement?
I'm going to pay someone.
Revolving doors?
Oh, no. I'm going to pay someone. And this is specifically...
Soundproofing in the stalls?
This is... Well, yes. I opened it. So... I would pay someone to, especially in a store like the store I work in, where it's kind of smaller. I guess if it's a larger store, I would use the intercom. I would pay someone to stand by the restroom, and when people come out, before the next person goes in, they go in and see what the restroom looks like, and then if it looks bad,
it's gross.
They come out and say, everyone, if I could get your attention. I would just like to inform all of you that this person here is not a civil human being and does not know how to treat a public restroom courteously for the rest of the people. If anyone would like to come see how this person has left this restroom, you are happy to do so.
That's amazing. I don't think you can actually institutionalize like
public shaming.
Yeah.
What are they going to do? What are they going? Are they going to go on Yelp and they're going to say, "Well, I left the bathroom looking like shit. I pissed all over the toilet seat and didn't flush it."
I'm just not sure if we should like institutionalize.
Oh, we should institutionalize it.
Wow.
That's just my opinion.
Public humiliation 101.
Yeah, public humiliation. These people need to be publicly humiliated. I think personally.
I think they need to. I don't know if it's right to do it. You know what I mean? Like, I think those are two separate things.
Sure.
I wouldn't be that guy.
No, I'm going to pay someone to do it.
Excuse me! This asshole!
Yeah. And do not address them. Address everyone. I just want everyone to know that this gentleman here does not know how to use a restroom.
He's right there. I would be more afraid of guns. If I were that guy, because at some point somebody turns around and just shoots you in the face.
I went off on this rant earlier at work, and it's a thought I've had for a long time. I went off on this rant, and both people I was talking to started laughing, and I was like, "Oh, this is my stand-up comedy routine."
It's good. It's really good.
Yeah. Anyways,
except I know you too well, and I know you're serious, and
well, yeah, but most stand-up comedians are.
I'm only laughing on the inside. So yeah. Should I do one real quick?
Yeah, do one real quick.
I watch basketball now.
Yes, you do.
That's a thing I do now, and I keep getting made fun of it for it. You know what this?
No.
You weren't at the Morphomania where this happened.
No.
I made a reference.
You told me about this.
Oh, did I? Okay,
yeah.
So we're doing Morphomania, and I made a reference
because I said that's a common use of reference. I would make that.
So you were with me, yeah. But it was like and I don't know if DJ and was Danny there? I don't remember. If
I wasn't there. You told me about it later.
I know. I'm trying to remember though.
Yeah.
But I don't know if they were just fucking with me or if they were really like, oh wow, Cam Logan, he made a sports reference. I don't know if it was that, but. I made a reference to a shot clock.
Yeah, like, which I think is a common
shot clock is counting down, and they were like, "Wow, Cam Logan watches a little bit of basketball, and now he's making sports references." That's a thing I would have said before that, and also, people don't know this about me, but I played basketball in junior high for.
I don't watch football. I might say touchdown.
Of course, yeah, but I mean, shot clock is maybe more of a deep pull than touchdown or a goal.
I would say ninth inning
or
stretch.
Something. Yeah, okay,
it's not a thing I say often, but it's a thing that's in my brain. I could say it.
Yeah, yeah. I refer to. You
can refer to the
Fancy Dan's. I say that. That's a baseball thing.
That one I don't know.
That's what you do when I learned that from a Star Trek episode. That's like the like jig or dance that someone does after they run a base, after they score.
Sure,
like
sure.
They get past home plate. But that it might be called that in other sports too. I just know it from baseball.
In football I think it's just touchdown dance. That's how it's referred to in movies and television. Touchdown dance.
Yeah. The Hail Mary. Yeah, I would make a reference to the Hail Mary play.
Is that sports?
Yeah.
Specifically?
Yeah, that's
I thought that was a war thing.
But you also have it in sport. I mean, maybe it's also a war thing, but you hear it all the time.
Sure.
Yeah.
But no. I think there are plenty of.
Sure. But anyway, so like I would have made that reference even before I was watching basketball. I'm gonna do a thing I've never done before.
Okay.
I'm gonna tell you about a basketball game.
Okay.
I'm gonna do it.
Okay.
Because it was awesome.
Okay.
And you won't care.
I won't care.
It was.
I don't care about sports.
That's fine. But I was there, and it was awesome.
And I think I have a similar thing that you do, where like I feel like I should care about sports, like kind of nostalgically. It's like I just think I'm supposed to.
Yeah. Well, I've always liked basketball, and I've always wanted to keep up with it. And and you know this, but I threatened it every year.
Yeah.
To watch either NBA or
as long as I'm
or NCAA. I'm finally watching college. I watch KU now, and we've not lost yet this season. KU's had a really good season. Bill Self, the coach, has had an amazing tenure. We won the championship in 08. I was downtown when we won the championship. I lived downtown, and there was no leaving downtown. It was really crazy. It was so super loud. And I watched that game, and it was a big deal because it was a buzzer beater game. Like, we should have lost. We got it from almost half court. Like, it was insane, right? Well, I saw a game the other day that was almost like that. And those are the coolest. And it was the best game I've seen this season. First half, so KU versus Stanford. First half, we are down 12 points for a good stretch, like 6, 7, 8 minutes. I never talk about sports. This is fun, and we started to come back a little bit, and we're within 4. Stanford is killing us on threes. They just keep throwing three-pointers, and that's killing us because more of our guys are better. Closer or better with layups and stuff, and but we've got Vic, and Vic is amazing at threes, and he ends up saving us. So first half, we get to the end of the half and we're down by quite a bit, and second half it looks like we're not going to come back, and we're down by quite a bit, and we keep coming back, but we keep falling back again, and 14 seconds left. We've got to make, I think, 5, I forget, and it's not looking good. And we get one in, and then Vic gets a 3 at the buzzer to tie it up, 75-75. We went into overtime. And that was killer. That was really cool. And then we just fucking killed it in overtime. and I like saw I can't remember who it was. I'm knowing these guys' names now. Like I can't remember if it was Azubuki or who it was, but that's Jason's favorite, Azubuki, number 34. We love, or 35, I think. We love Azubuki, but anyway. But I think it was him. I forget. But we saw the best dunk of the season in that game. It was killer. I kept like taking pictures of the score and sending it to my wife because I was like, "This is insane, the way this is going." But yeah, that was the best.
You know what sport you don't want?
So cool.
You don't want to go into overtime live? Maybe just because I'm not a sports person.
Baseball?
No.
Because baseball goes into overtime a lot,
well,
and it can be really boring.
Especially if it's because
they'll do multiple overtime. And I've been at the Royal Stadium when it's happened 3 times. And oh my god, I've left games in overtime.
Hockey.
Because now Eric used to watch a lot of hockey.
I used to watch hockey. I used to go to games of hockey. It's cold.
Oh, good.
So
good point.
so here's how hockey.
I never thought of that.
So here's how hockey works. They add it's been a while. I want to say the periods are 30 minutes. I could be wrong. I want to say the 30-minute periods. So they add a 15-minute period.
Is it 4 or is it 2? No, 2.
No, it's 3.
It's 3. Okay, I would know.
I think. I'm pretty sure.
I would know.
It's been almost a decade at this point. So
I don't know anything about hockey. I've never watched a game.
I'm pretty sure it's 3. It's weird because they don't have halftime. But
well, that makes sense that they got 3. Yeah.
So they add a half period. And then if no one scores or they're still tied at the end of that period, they do shots. Not like shots, but like they take turns. They select.
It's cold. We need shots.
Yeah. So they select people to then take wide shots at the net.
Mm-hmm.
So you're sitting in the cold. You've been there for probably 2 to 3 hours, and then it's not 15 minutes.
I'm so dumb. It never occurred to me that it's cold in the stands.
Oh, it's very.
Never thought of that.
Oh no! You dress warm when you go see a hockey game. So you had half a period, and then if that doesn't work, you just keep shooting until someone scores. But then if the other team scores, you just keep going.
So it can take forever.
It can take forever. It can be infinite.
But yeah, what sucks is when baseball goes into overtime and it's not because anything cool happens, it's just nobody scored.
One of the best jokes, well, I can say this about a lot of jokes. A good joke in Futurama.
A good joke, yeah.
A good joke in Futurama is when they go see the baseball game.
I haven't watched that in so long.
So like they have like the ball's on like a bungee cord and like there's a bunch of other things that they change about baseball. And Fry's all pissed off. And he's like, this isn't baseball. I'm like, oh no, they spiced up. He's like, this is ridiculous. This isn't what baseball is. Baseball's supposed to. So they made it interesting, really. Yeah. They add some stuff to it to make it a little bit faster. It's good.
That's pretty funny. But anyway, that's my other.
Also,
that's my fast topic.
Also,
I just thought I'd tell you guys about a basketball game I watched and prove that I knew something about basketball.
If you're a writer,
yeah,
and you like the Red Sox, maybe don't talk about the Red Sox in everything you write.
Is that a Stephen King thing?
That's Stephen King.
Really?
But it's a Red Sox thing. It's not just Stephen King. It's a
everybody
Red Sox
writes about
thing.
the Red Sox?
Red Sox will if they're a Red Sox fan, because Red Sox don't come up unless you're a Red Sox fan. But if you are a Red Sox fan, they come up quite a bit.
That's really funny. I never thought of that.
Yeah.
I wanted to follow Arkansas this season too, because I'm from Arkansas and they're turning things around, having a better year this year apparently, or the last couple of years, and I just haven't had time to watch 2 teams, so I haven't been doing that.
You know who doesn't have that? The Cubs. Cubs fans are not like Red Sox fans, and Cubs fans had it worse than Red Sox fans.
Yeah.
Because Red Sox always talked about the curse. Do you know that the Cubs didn't win even longer than the Red Sox? And the Cubs had a whole thing where like they traded like I think they had who's the guy? Smoltzy. The great Bambino.
I don't know right off what you're talking about.
The baseball legend.
What, Babe Ruth?
Babe Ruth.
Okay.
I think the Cubs had Babe Ruth. They traded him. It's a whole thing.
Okay.
But like the Cubs had a longer curse than the Red Sox, but they're also shadowed by the Red Sox.
I don't want to shoot in the dark. And the sports people.
And the Cubs people don't bring it up constantly in their writing. There's many writers that you've read their work and would not know they're Cubs fans.
I grew up thinking the worst team in baseball was the California Angels.
Interesting.
Because of Angels in the outfield.
Yes.
Well, they must be a fucking horror.
I grew up thinking the Mighty Ducks was a good team.
Yeah?
I wasn't even about the professional team.
Sure.
Nor were they aliens.
Yeah. Well, that was the cartoon show.
That is the cartoon show, but I watched both.
They weren't aliens in the movies.
I found out Mighty Ducks, directed by the director of Three Musketeers.
Oh, interesting.
He actually
Haven't seen that
like
forever.
directs my childhood. Like I went down, I was listening, I was like, yep, and this year he made this movie I saw, and this year he made this movie I saw, and this year he made this movie. It's like from like 91 to 98. He just
We still have to do Maximum Overdrive.
we do still have to do it.
That's Emilio Estevez.
Yep, brother to Charlie Sheen.
We're gonna do a commentary on that movie for the 19 people that will care. But I just want to. I haven't seen it forever. We're gonna do a semi-blind commentary. I have not seen it in forever.
You know what's really weird?
We could just watch it and talk about it. I kind of want to do a commentary on it.
Yeah, I know, I agree. You know what's really weird?
How did that idea even come up?
You wanted to
We
do
have
Maximum
for
Overdrive.
months said we're gonna do this. I don't even remember
I
how it
bought
came
it.
up. No, but I talked about it before that. I was like, well, thank God you got a copy. We're gonna do
I
it.
think I might have brought up that people were looking for it, and you're like we should do that. Have you ever seen it? I'm like, yes, of course.
It might have been a Tim Lyons thing. It might have been the thing
Maybe.
he and I talked about doing. I forget.
But you know what's
Because we were
interesting?
supposed to do Firestarter. I was
Okay.
reading Firestarter to do a commentary with Tim Lyons,
didn't know
and then he
that.
passed away. We didn't get to do it.
You know what's weird? Looking at Martin Sheen, and then Charlie Sheen, Emilio Estevez.
Yeah.
Because both of them, Charlie Sheen and Emilio Estevez don't look like each other, but they both look identical to their father.
Yeah.
And I don't understand that.
Plus, hands down, Emilio Estevez has one of the coolest names.
Yeah, it's his mom's.
It's
last
such a
name,
cool
I think, so it
name.
is. It's his mom's maiden name.
I didn't know that.
I think.
I thought maybe you just made it up.
I think it's his mom's maiden name. I don't know.
It's a cool name. Anyway, everybody, thanks a lot for watching. We sure appreciate it. Hope you had fun watching
Charlie and
Geekvolution.
Emilio. How do you get there?
After
Different
dark.
moms, right?
Different
Probably-
people
probably
chose
different
them.
moms.
Yeah. Thanks for watching, guys.
I think about the Sheens.
We will see you again in a couple of weeks. The Omnibus is up, so go check that out. And I have a crazy top secret superhero rewind project that's coming out
I cracked it
very
immediately.
soon. You figured it out very quickly. I imagine some of the patrons have figured it out, some of the requesters.
So as for this man requests, oh, you're doing this.
Yeah, well, now that you've said that, yeah. But yeah, so I hit deep in the middle of that. I'm writing rewinds like mad. It's nuts. But I'm doing it. I'm almost done with the third one. Aaron got all excited when I said half. He thought I was like halfway there, and I was like, of the third one.
Yeah, you're like mid-sentence. Like mid-sentence, cap. I was like, he said, I'm halfway through. I was like, really?
And then he
the
gives me
third one.
This
Oh.
look like that's not impressive.
No, it is impressive. It's just,
Like, fuck you.
but it's not as impressive as what my mind leaped to.
No, you're right. It's not. It's not. But if you were me right now,
No, absolutely.
you'd be over the moon.
Absolutely.
I still don't know if I'm gonna. I mean, I'm gonna get it done, but it's gonna be crazy.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be tight. Anyway,
It's a madhouse. A madhouse.
you guys are great. We appreciate you. Thank you so very much. We will see you again in a couple weeks.
Yes.
You sure, say something.
Oh, well, you didn't say I'm Captain Logan.
No, I know. It's just you play us out.
Oh, I have to.
Yeah, just say something.
I'm Captain Logan.
No, just make it all insightful. You know, just say
Oh.
something like really cool and interesting.
I mean, I'm just gonna do the thing I always do.
What you always do.
No matter where you go, there you are.
Thanks a lot for watching. We'll see you again next time. I'm Captain Logan.
And I'm.
Bye, folks.